Hi BookTube, my name's Nadine, welcome to my channel. Have you ever started a task thinking, oh, this will be a 5-minute job, it's a really simple thing to do, and then before you know it, it has taken over hours of your time, a room, your house. Yeah, that's what's happened to me. So I decided I was getting really fed up of the mess of my books because they're everywhere and I can't find things when I want them, and I know that I have these books and I just can't find them. And so I thought, right, I'm going to start slowly reorganizing my little collection, my collection. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to clear a shelf and I'm going to put my classics on this shelf because I reckon I've only got about a shelf of classics, maybe shelf and a half. Yeah. Let me show you. So this is my classics bookcase. The bottom shelf is kind of literary fiction, which is actually a term that I really don't like, but I think it's like saying that genre fiction isn't literary, and it certainly can be. But yeah, serious books then. Serious books. That only needs a shelf. I don't reach for serious stuff very often. No, there's going to be more, but yeah, I'm just going to scatter those throughout the collection. But yeah, so I have a lot more classics than I thought. So I thought I will show you what I've done so far. So at the top here, I've got a few sort of related non-fiction. So Jane Austen, A Life by Claire Tomalin, The Brontes by Juliet Barker, Take Courage, Anne Bronte and the Art of Life by Samantha Ellis, Young Romantics, The Shelleys, Byron and Other Tangled Lives by Daisy Hay. This got damaged in a house move, but I can't get rid of things like that. Recollections of the Last Days of Shelley and Byron by Edward Trelawney. Yeah, Byron's one of my favourite poets. And then moving into like fiction, so I've got this old edition of Black Beauty. This edition's from I think 1936, 1937. I do have the cover for it as well, the dust jacket, but I've removed it and put it away because it's so fragile that the slightest brush against it, it just starts to crumble. Portrait of a Lady by Henry James. And then I have these Heron collections. So A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, Lord Jim by Joseph Conrad, I, Claudius by Robert Graves, Animal Farm and 1984 by George Orwell. Animal Farm, I remember I read that at school and enjoyed it, but I haven't read it since. And 1984, I just loved that book. And Jane Eyre is one of my all-time favourites also. And then I have this lovely edition of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley that Michael K. Vaughan sent me. And then I would like more of these editions as well because they're so pretty. Far from the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy. Sanditon by Jane Austen. And then Goblin Market and Other Poems by Christine Rossetti. And then like a more modern classic, Frenchman's Creek by Daphne du Maurier. So as you can see, I've been trying to organise it in editions. That rustling you can hear is my cat, who's decided to come and help. So yeah, Charles Dickens, Dombey and Son, and then The Mystery of Edwin Drood. And then I have Treasure Island. And then we have Mary Elizabeth Braddon's Lady Audley's Secret, which I'm really looking forward to reading. Another Thomas Hardy, The Mayor of Casterbridge. which was the group read for the last Victober event, but I didn't actually get around to reading it. I think that was the group read. And then another Hardy, Jude the Obscure. And then I'll show you another shelf, and then I think maybe keep these videos short, and I'll film some more another time. So then I have these Penguin classics. So we have Margaret Oliphant's Miss Marjorie Banks, Tacitus, The Annals of Imperial Rome, War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, another Dickens, Hard Times, Penguin Book of Christmas Stories, Robinson Crusoe, Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskell. I love this book as well. Middlemarch by George Eliot, which is permanently on my TBR that I never get around to. Another Eliot, Adam Bede. Cranford and Cousin Phyllis by Elizabeth Gaskell. I can't remember if I read Cousin Phyllis actually. I'll have to revisit that. Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. Ovid, Metamorphoses. Sophocles, The Three Theban Plays. Eugenie Grandet by Balzac. Niall's Saga. And then I don't know why I've popped this one here. I don't think it really fits here, but Bram Stoker, The Jewel of Seven Stars. But I might move that into the horror section when I get around to doing the horror section. And then I've got The Age of Innocence by Edith Wharton. I hate this cover. Not the one I ordered. And then Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. And then I'm always on the hunt for these editions as well when I'm out on my travels. They're just so pretty. The Five Orange Pips and Other Cases by Arthur Conan Doyle. So that's the Sherlock Holmes book. Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Another Austen, Pride and Prejudice. No, ow, cat! Hey, I'm not playing, get off my toes. North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. Again, fantastic book. I've yet to read a Gaskell that I don't love, to be honest. And then Anne Bronte, The Tenants of Wildfell Hall. And then I have some more, well, how would you say, erotic classics, I guess. Fanny Hill by John Cleland. Oh gosh, try saying that when you've had a few drinks. Sadopedia by Anonymous. Emmanuel. Venus in India by Charles Devereux. The Autobiography of a Flea by Stanislas de Rhodes. And Justine by Marquis de Sade. So I found these at a car boot sale, and it was like £3 for all of them, so I grabbed them, but I've never actually got around to reading any of them yet. But yeah, so that is the first two shelves, and then below that I've got some more like traditional classics, and then some children's classics, and then my vintage red spines, but I will go through them in my next one. Thank you for watching. Is there anything that you've seen here that you think I should pick up reasonably soon? Let me know, because quite a lot of these I haven't actually got around to reading yet. Or is there anything that you think I need to add to the collection for when my 100 book reading challenge is over? Of course, I'm still behaving. So yeah, that's just a quick look at the results of the carnage that I've caused in this house. I will not show you the room that I'm standing in, because there are piles and piles of books and board games, because I used to keep board games in here. and I haven't actually worked out what I'm doing with them yet, so it's a state. But I'm starting to work today on my fantasy shelves. I think I'm going to do fantasy and science fiction next. And I have done a bookcase that's horror, but it's sort of like cozy horror, or like fluffy horror, you know, Flora. Yeah, like True Blood kind of books and that sort of thing. But I'll show you that another time. Anyway, enough waffle. Hope you're all well, and I will speak to you very soon.